All right. How is it going? My name is Dread and I am with the 501st Ghosts. Today I'm going to break down a little bit of Smite so that newcomers can kind of know how to play, where to go, how you should be playing certain gods, and what you should be looking to do at different parts of the game. So, first, I'll start off by showing you guys some of the guardians. So, guardians are the support class. They allow your team to get in and out of battles. They usually have good CC, good base protection and health stats, um, and they can rework kind of how the other team is trying to position themselves to attack you. Um, so the guys usually have some CC. They usually have some different abilities to push, to pull, to knock up enemies. Um, you have your main hard CC gods. Athena, Kabrakan is more of an aggressive god, and so is Ares. But Athena, Ganesha, Geb, Kepri, Kumbhakarna, Kuzumbo, Ymir, they're just annoying gods. Always in your face, CC chaining you so that the AD carry gets away or the AD carry is able to secure the kill. Um, Ymir, for instance, has a freeze, two slows, and a wall. So he can be a very tough god to play against. So know that you need to use those abilities to get your allies in and out of battles. You have to use them at the appropriate times. If you are using Ymir freeze every single time to help clear the lane, then you're not able to use your freeze to get in and out of battles to help stop their AD carry from getting away or to help your AD carry get away. Um, so definitely Ymir, Kumbhakarna, Geb. They're very easy gods to learn. There's a lot of CC there, a lot of abilities that will allow you to help out your AD carry. Other gods like Ares and Kabrakan, they're more aggressive gods. Yes, there is CC, but usually there's a lot of initiation that has to take place there. And a lot of times they can be lacking in peel, especially Ares. Ares is one of the toughest gods to peel for your teammates. So that's it for Guardians. Next, we can go on to Warriors. So Warriors are usually in the solo lane, and um, they are physical, as Guardians are magical. These are physical damage gods. Usually, if you're playing these gods in the solo lane, you want to build them mostly tanky with just a little bit of damage. So you're frontlining with the Guardian, you're helping to peel, you're helping to initiate, you're taking the tower shots, but in the early game, when you're a warrior, you're in the solo lane, you're looking to stay alive as long as possible. You're looking to stay in lane for as long as possible. If you look across the board, you have Achilles, Chalk, Cucullin, Guan Yu, Hercules, Tyr, Vamana. All of them have built-in healing in their kits. Whether it's from using an ability that increases the amount of healing they get, or whether it's from their passive, whether it's from actually just hitting somebody with a certain ability to heal themselves. So the other gods, Bellona, Amaterasu, Osiris, you would most likely want to build some kind of healing in your kit, like a Glad Shield, like a Soul Eater. That way you can stay in lane as long as possible, farm up as long as possible, so that when you come to the group fights, when you come to the team fights, you're able to initiate and do damage to their carries without dying instantly. And a lot of times, if you're a good solo laner, and you've been farming up on your lane for most of the game, you'll be a couple levels up on some of the players on the other team that would be doing damage to you. So you can be very annoying in team fights. So you're looking to lane as much as possible. Once you win lane, you're looking to move around to help out your team and make sure that they stay alive and that you are being as annoying as possible to the carries. Which brings me to carry number 1. The attack damage carry, the hunters. These gods start off very slow early game. They are definitely mid to late game gods 9 times out of 10. That's just because they attack slow and they don't attack for much at the beginning of games. Once you start getting them online, though, they just absolutely shred. 9 times out of 10, if you're playing one of these gods and you're up in the game, you're not looking to build any defensive items because you should just be able to shred anybody that comes your way or be able to get away or look for some peel. So with that in mind, the support is trying to keep you alive. You're in the duo lane with a support. You're looking to shell out as much damage to stay in lane, to poke out the other hunter, and just farm up so that you can be as big as possible. If your support is in the lane when you're both level 10, 9-10 minutes into the game, or however long it takes you to get to level 10, if your support is still in lane with you, you are still splitting farm with them, and you need to tell them to get out so that you can solo farm and help catch up because other gods have been solo farming the entire game. But with you not having as much defense, it's good in the early game to have that support to help you to stay in lane as long as possible. With these gods, you're looking for either penetration and abilities usage, or you're looking for attack speed and crit just to shred anybody that comes your way. So you're looking to farm in your lane for a good portion of the game and then rotate into mid, stay on the left side, try to help secure Gold Fury until you're really getting into team fights, and then you are not initiating into team fights. You want to kind of just poke at them, try to shred any tanks that come through looking to get you or your mage. You should not be diving the back line if you're one of these gods, unless you're really good at the game and you can just dive in there with Uller and just axe everyone up and get a freaking quadra kill, but not everybody is going to do that. So a lot of times you're trying to play it safe. There are ability-based gods. There are attack-based gods. Some have escapes, some don't. So know what you have. Artemis has a very good kit to get away. She has some self-peel, and she can initiate fights with her ult. If her ult is down, she has no way to get in or out of fights. She's a very boots-on-the-ground god. So you have to know that the only way you have to get away is with your damage, to kill, or to make them run away. On the other side, Izanami has a ability where she moves away and becomes invisible. Very good at getting away. Jingwei has multiple abilities to get away. Cupid, Chiron, Apollo all have dashes. Chernunnos has a dash. So you got to know, hey, if I'm playing a Xbalanque, I have a short dash to get away and an ult that blinds them, but I'm a relatively stationary god. Same with Scotty. Scotty is a very stationary god. So you have to know that if a jungle comes to your lane, running away is probably not the best option. You should probably turn, fight, try to do as much damage as you can. If your ult's up, you can hold them in place. Other than that, you really don't have a whole lot to help yourself get away if you're getting ganked and you're by yourself. Next up, the mages. So many mages. And I think that's because when you look at the mages, there's many different types. You have the healing mages in Aphrodite, Chang'e, and Hell. So those ones have multiple things in their kits to do damage, but also to heal. Baron is also another god that has a built-in heal for your team in his kit. Then you have the attack damage, the auto attack gods. You're looking at Sol, you're looking at Kronos, you're looking at Freya. Those gods you can play mid. You can play them AD carry as well, just because they have a high attack speed. And hey, what's up, Nate? How you doing? Um, I know, crazy. I'm streaming. Go figure. So with the with those gods, you have to know that your abilities are to help aid in your auto attacks, but at the end of the day, you're not an ability based god. Um, so Sol, Freya, Kronos, those three don't tend to have a whole lot of poke. They don't have an ability that they can shove out there. You're not usually looking for cooldown reduction on those three gods because the abilities are kind of second nature to the auto attacks. Um, then we have the ability based gods. You have to know with the ability based gods who you're looking at that has escapes and who doesn't. You're in the mid lane. The mid lane tends to get a lot of traffic. If there are team fights happening before 10 minutes, usually they're going on in or around the mid lane. There's usually not 5 people in the solo lane. So because of that, certain gods have dashes, they have speed ups. Janus is probably one of the most mobile gods out there just because he can portal through walls. But if you're sitting there with an Anubis, as with certain hunters like Scotty, the only thing you have to get in and out of fights is your damage. So if somebody's chasing you, you have a slow and you have a CC, but you don't have a dash out. So if they come after you, you have to turn on them and use your abilities in order to be able to get away from junglers ganking when you're not close to a tower or anything like that. Certain other guards that are a little strange are Hades and Ao Kuang, just because you have to be more up close, and Zhong Kui as well. You have to be a little bit more up close and personal with those gods. Ao Kuang is a auto attack god, just like Sol, Freya, and Kronos. The difference with Ao Kuang is he's more of an assassin. He's like the one magical damage jungler you have. Whereas the hunters are physical damage, all these mages, they're magical damage. Ao Kuang is like the magical damage jungler. Abwa, Janus also can jungle very well, just because of their mobility. You can jungle with all of them technically, but my point being that Zeus, Vulcan, and Anubis, they're very stationary gods. Apwak, they're very stationary gods, so you have to make sure that you know that you don't have an escape. You can't just walk down lane and think that you're going to be able to get away if someone collapses on you. So most of these gods, minus the exceptions of the attack damage carries, they're looking to use abilities from far away. They're looking to poke out the enemy team as much as possible. They're looking to cast through walls. They're looking to do damage to anybody that they can from as far away as possible. So these are somewhat initiating and disengaged gods. At the same time, they are carries. A lot of times they're being built full damage. So you have to know that if someone comes on you, you have to use your damage and your abilities to get away. You just run away and you're going to be in trouble. You need somebody to be able to peel for you in order for you to be able to get away a lot of times, unless, you're Janus and just can portal out of there. So that is it for the mages. Last, not least, we have the assassins. These are your junglers for the most part. Now, just like with mages and hunters, you have the ability-based gods and you have the auto-attack-based gods. I would say most of the time you're looking at auto attack based gods. Thor is one of those ones where you want to build around him being able to use his abilities as quickly as possible. You're looking for cooldown reduction. You're looking for penetration, just a lot of damage to be coming out. Apologize. Getting tips. Perfect. That should be better. It must have got moved down when I was doing other stuff. So, these gods are looking to gank to get close to the enemy and deal out a whole bunch of burst damage. 9 times out of 10, you don't want to box with these gods, early or mid game. If you box with a solo laner 1v1, you will most likely lose, unless they're a potato and you hit every single one of your abilities and you just stunt on them. Now, certain gods like Kali and Bakasura, they're very heavy auto attack gods. I would put Arachne in that category as well, but she's changing some, so you may be able to get away with more ability damage. Hydras are good just because it procs your auto attacks after abilities to do more damage. So Hydras on Daji, on a Wheelix, on Nemesis, on Susano, all very good things to do because they are able to shell out autos very quickly. So you want to be able to move quickly, you get the speed buff, you go through the jungle, you look for ganking opportunities, and you get out. Because, like I said, the longer you stay there, you're gonna die. You got to be able to shell out the damage, get the kills, and get out of there most of the time. One of the interesting gods is actually Ratatosker, who has a built-in protection shred. So with that, you can actually build Ratatosker a little more tanky, almost like how you would build a solo laner, and he can still shell out assassin damage because of that protection shred. Certain gods have lifesteal ingrained into their kits. I'm looking at Camazotz, I'm looking at Arachne, I'm looking at Thanatos. So those Pele, definitely Pele. So with those gods, they can stay just a little bit longer just because of their ability to get in and out of fights and also to be able to heal up as they are attacking. So that is it for the gods. Know what your abilities are. Know if you are a stationary hunter or mage, what you have to do to get in and out of battles. Know that if you are a support, you're looking to help out your team as much as possible. You dying is a lot better for your team than one of the other players dying. Any of them. If you're a support player, the best thing that you could do is to die for one of your teammates and help them live. So now I'm going to actually get into the game and try to see if I can show you where you should play depending on what your role is. So I'm going to get into a 1v1 conquest. I'm going to have the level be 20 and the gold to be as high as possible, and turn off lane minions. And I'm going to add an easy Chongi bot, healing mage. And then I'm going to play as Mercury at first, just to kind of show you where to go, just because Mercury, I'll build him full speed and he'll be able to just zoom around the map. Mercury! So I'll show you the starting jungle rotation, what you should be looking to do. Also, I will go to lanes and show you where you should be when. And then maybe I'll see, maybe, thanks Nate, appreciate it. And then I will look at possibly making sure that everyone knows where they're going when, why I'm doing that. I am going to be one speedy ass boy. Let me tell you. Whatever. Holy shit. Alright. So, first things first. When you are jungling, the first thing you are looking to do is to get your speed buff right here. So make sure that no enemies are in the jungle looking to gank you. Speed buff is a hot commodity. People will like to come and take it from you, including your own teammates. So you got to know that if you are a jungler, you need that speed buff in order to farm efficiently. In order to get around the map as fast as possible, that speed buff is paramount to being able to farm as efficiently as possible. Because at the end of the day, farm is one of the most important things in this game. Getting as much gold and getting as much experience as possible will put you so far ahead of the other team, it's insane. You don't think that 2 levels mean a lot, but being 2 levels up on somebody makes a huge difference in this game from a gold and an experience standpoint. So usually at the beginning of a game, the mid will be standing about right here, and they will be looking to cast an ability onto the speed buff to help you clear it. So the mid will drop an ability and go immediately to lane. The jungler has the option to either go here to an experience camp or to go here to the blue buff. So if you come here, sometimes if you want, depending on who you have as a solo laner, it's good to get the experience and then to come over here and be dropping the blue, and as soon as your solo laner, if he starts coming over, sometimes you even want to save it so that they can get level 2 off of the blue buff experience as well. Because this is usually where you're hitting level 2. Another thing, the other jungler will be hitting level 2 as soon as they clear the blue buff. So if you look at the enemy team, if you see their jungler get to level 2, you know that means they just cleared the blue speed buff. So once you farm up the right side of the map, all around here, you're going to look in the mid lane. You're going to be looking for these middle harpies. You'll be looking for the mid wave. And you'll be looking at these harpies and the red buff. Now, the mid laner usually gets the red buff. If the duo lane is winning their lane and mid is losing their lane, it is not even close to unfeasible for the attack damage carry, the hunter in the duo lane, to actually take the red buff. Because red buff in the right hands can do a lot of good things for your team. So just know that mid laner mostly takes red just because they're casting abilities, and the solo laner has somebody in their the duo laner, I'm sorry, has somebody in their lane to help out. So once you clear the camps in mid and the red buff, you're looking to come back here to help out mid if they need it to push. You're looking to get more experience, and you're looking to get your yellow speed buff just about every time it's ready and available. Depending on who's winning lane, you can gank duo lane, you can gank solo lane, and you can gank mid lane. So mid laner, after they help clear the speed buff, they're looking to come here and just push wave, okay? So they push wave, push wave, push wave, try to help out the jungler with clearing these middle speed buffs. When I say middle speed buffs, I'm talking about these 3, 4. Sometimes the mid laner, when they leave base, they'll come over here and get that experience camp as well. This back experience camp is pretty much open to whoever wants it most of the time. Even duo lane can get the purple and this. So this is pretty much shared. This one is only jungler. This one is jungler / solo laner. And then these are mid / jungler. Now, over here you have the oracles. These ones are a little tougher to clear, especially when you're lower level. If you're not level 3 to 4, it's almost impossible to clear those by yourself. If you're level 2, it's real tough going to clear those by yourself. You're going to lose a lot of health. A lot of times early game, like before you reach level 5, a lot of times you're looking to secure the oracles with at least one other player. A lot of times. Not meaning you have to, but a lot of times. So mid laner and the jungler have to work really well together. Because as a jungler, if you're in mid lane, I'm going in and out of the jungle, and to go from left jungle to right jungle, I'm going right across mid. So if I'm looking to go across mid right here, and the mid laner is right here, you best believe that I'm going to make it a 2v1 in mid lane. So that mid laner has to realize, our mid laner has to realize, hey, there's a jungler on my team going this way. That means that I need to start pressuring so that I can unleash some of my abilities to help out my jungler to get secure a kill. So once you have done that, your jungler is, helping duo lane, let's say. The other jungler is pathing that way. So you have 3v3 in duo lane. You pushed your mid wave all the way up here. Let's say their mid laner is dead. That opens you up as a mid laner to actually come over and help out your solo laner at possibly getting a kill. If not that, you got 3v3. Might as well make it 4v4 since the mid laner's down. It opens you up if you have good mid lane pressure and your wave is all the way pushed. There's no need for you to be sitting under their tower to try to take it if you got 2 minion waves pushing in there and you can't farm. A lot of times, there's other ways that you can farm and other ways to help your team. So a mid laner, although a lot of people tend to do it, it's not a stationary position. You don't have to just stay in this lane, look at the other mid laner the entire game, pushing, and then die. One of you mid laners dies on cooldown every time to the jungler. So, mid laner, a lot of things are opened up for you once you get to level 5. You don't have to stay in mid. It just kind of depends on the game. You can help out your team either direction, any way you want. Duo lane. This one you got to be careful. The way you can tell duo lane apart from solo lane, because guess what? If I'm standing on the other side of the map, well, the map was flipped over. You're looking at dual lane being on the right side of the map for one team and on the left side of the map for another team. So calling right, left doesn't actually make any difference. What you want to look at is the towers. See how far apart these towers are? That marks dual lane. Solo lane, the towers are a lot closer. So towers, especially early game, this is a sanctuary. This means, na boo boo, you can't touch me. If you stand right here and you are level, 3, that opposing team, there's just about 0 way that they are going to attack you at full health. Because there's no way that they could damage you enough taking multiple tower shots. Early game tower shots are OP. Do not dive tower early game. Know that your tower is a safe zone early game if you can get far enough away from abilities and everything else. Obviously, nowhere on this map is safe at any time because... So, with that in mind, dual lane, 9 times out of 10, you are not pushing up to right here early. Oh, look, there's Chungy. She's just standing there. 9 times out of 10, you are not pushing up to here early game on an enemy team because that jungler literally has this whole entire area all throughout here to run, chase you down, use abilities, and fuck you up. They have all of these avenues to gank you from. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 different spots from that long ass distance in order to gank you. So keep that in mind. Look for your jungle rotations on the other team. If the other jungler if you spot him in mid, going this way, and you're standing right here, chances are he is coming for your cheeks, and you need to get the hell out of there. So, what you need to do is push wave, go for objectives, try to make sure that you're sticking together, because even here, if a hunter is here clearing this buff, and your support is here for some reason clearing the lane, it's just as easy for a jungler or another hunter to come over here and kill this guy while he's getting this buff. So, support has to be very aware of where their hunter is and what's going on the map. Support, once they get to a certain point, once you think, okay, my hunter has this under control. Even if the other support is in the lane, I don't think that they could dive hard enough and do enough damage to my hunter to the point where he cannot get away. I think that he's okay. The support should be looking at other places to farm, other lanes to help. If this lane right here is up 5-0 on the other duo lane, there is no need for the support to be here anymore. And if this lane is losing, 0-5, that's a good place for the support to get a little bit of farm to share it with a solo laner and help the solo laner out, because obviously he's in way over his head. So keep in mind helping out your teammates as a support. Go wherever you need to be. This here is a protection camp. It allows you to lower protections wherever you're nearby. This is usually for the support, but if the support is nowhere nearby, the hunter can pick it up and it's just as useful. It's just that support usually tends to be more in the face of the enemy, so that's why it can be more useful for the support to have this buff. But in the end, it really doesn't matter which one it goes to, just whoever can utilize it the best. Red gives you better attack power. I don't think it helps with cooldown reduction. I think it gives you more attack power and possibly helps you to regain health faster. All of the white that you see on the map, those are all experience. Those ones don't drop any buffs. Do this real quick. And then the blue is mana, which helps to refresh your blue bar down at the bottom. And also can help with cooldown reduction. Now, I showed you the oracles right here. When you destroy those, it helps place a ward on the Gold Fury so you can see that better. You also have Pyromancer and Fire Giant. So, Pyromancer clearing that gives you that. You see the fireball fly off. So what that will do is it will allow the entire team, as they're leaving this base, you can see a little like fire ring around it. It makes it so that when you leave the base, you get a speed boost. See my trail behind me? How fast? I know I'm fast before, but like it makes you even faster. So this allows you to get back to wave insanely fast. Fire Giant is a good way to push waves, to push towers and phoenixes to end the game. You don't know how frustrating it is to be on a team that is killing the other team like crazy, but you still have a 50-minute game because they're more worried about laning and getting kills than grouping up, attacking Fire Giant, and pushing lanes, pushing phoenixes, ending the game. At the end of the day, what you want to do is not subdue the enemy team into surrendering. That's early game. Once you get past early game, you are not trying to force them into an early surrender because you don't want to. You're not looking to break their spirit like you are early game. So with Fire Giant, he gives you a boost that heals your health over time. So while you're pushing the lanes, you take damage. You walk out for a couple of seconds, and it heals you insanely fast. It also helps you to do extra damage to the towers. So you can push the lanes faster. Now, in the new season, Season 6 that's coming out at the end of this month, they are changing the way that Gold Furies work. So right now, let me show you. That now placed a ward here on the Gold Fury. You can see the blue area around it. That's because now if somebody else is attacking the Gold Fury, it lets me know that, hey, idiot, somebody's attacking the Gold Fury. You should probably do something about it. So, let me go ahead and just destroy this Gold Fury real quick. So, it gave me 234 gold, 120 experience. So it gives you decent gold and experience boost. It's good early and mid game. Late game, it falls off hard. If I'm level 20 and I have all of these items, I have all this stuff, why does it matter? Oh, look, there you go. Increases physical and magical power by 10%, 15% towards gods, plus 10 magical power, and plus 5 physical power. So you're looking at just more power, just power. So when you clear the Gold Fury, yes, it gives you experience, yes, it gives you gold. They're changing it now because this objective would be almost completely ignored late game. People were all grouping up and warding this side of the map like crazy. Because Fire Giant is how you end games. Fire Giant gives your team a huge boost in team fights, and it's how you end games. So, Gold Fury got ignored. Poor Gold Fury. Season 6, Smite's like, hey, this side of the map, yeah, it's going to be a hot commodity. They've added 2 new types of Gold Furies. You'll see their images here after you kill the first one, and it'll let you know which one's spawning. One boosts your minions, which helps you push waves. It's towers and phoenixes. And the other one helps you to do more damage to not other players, but to the camps. We're talking experience camps, speed camps, all the buffs, the Gold Fury itself, the oracles, the pyromancer, and yes, the fire giant. You can do more damage to the fire giant. So having that damage buff on the Fire Giant makes it so you can kill that thing faster because they're buffing the Fire Giant. He's going to be stronger next season. He's going to be tougher to kill. He's going to do more damage to you. With that in mind, Fire Giant's still going to be a hot commodity to get. So if you have all 3 Gold Furies plus Fire Giant, it's going to be a lot easier. Well, one of the Gold Furies is going to help you get Fire Giant faster. Then it's going to be a lot easier to push these lanes and end the game. Because as it stands right now, unfortunately, when you get to the point where when you get to the point where you are late game, you are pushing waves, you are doing all these things. Once it gets to late game, you're going to be standing here trying to kill this Phoenix. This Phoenix is tough. You'll have 5 enemies standing in here, and you 5 right here. Guess what? They can go anywhere they want right there. Where you want to go is right here through this bottleneck. So that makes it extremely tough to end the game. You have to wait for minions to push in, which by the way can get killed by 1 or 2 abilities. And your whole entire team has to go in there. One person has to be taking damage from this. One shot did 207. So 207 damage. I have 2,000. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that damage goes up over time. If you take more than 1 power shot, it does more to you. Oh, 207. Yeah, it does more to you afterwards. With that happening, whoever's tanking the tower shots is eventually going to have to get out of the way, get out of this line, so that the Phoenix will start attacking something else. But with you taking that increased damage from the Phoenix, if it's a 5-on-5 team fight, and you don't have any objectives, and you don't have minions pushing in, you are at a huge disadvantage because you have something that's dealing, well, it wouldn't do that to, a tank. It would be dealing less damage, or they would have more health. But after a couple of hits, it would be doing substantial damage to at least one of your teammates. So, with that in mind, it's a very good idea when your team is losing in the end game, for you to want to also stay at that Phoenix line, because it's almost guaranteed safety. Hey, guess what? If I'm standing right here, I have this helping me out. If my whole entire team is standing here, it's going to be really tough to take this Phoenix. Now, what you get is you get teammates that are trying to push waves out here while the other team has Fire Giant. They 5-man rotate over here, kill them before they can get back, and then they have an odd man advantage on trying to get in here and attack these Phoenixes. So a lot of times, if they're up, if they have Fire Giant, they're looking to push these objectives. It's almost impossible to defend towers. You have to defend the Phoenixes. You can try to defend the towers. If you are 5-on-5 and you got a good strength tower, yeah, try to hold them at a tower. But at the end of the day, you're looking to defend the Phoenixes and try to force them out, push out the waves, and try to set up for next Fire Giant. So with that in mind, it's also a good idea as a jungler, as a mid laner, to try and invade the opposite team's farm. If I take this experience camp, that's one more set of experience for me and one less set of experience for the other team. Me taking their buffs, their camps, their like that, it ruins the enemy's game plan. It ruins what their rotation is. It ruins their farm. And like I said, farm is one of the biggest things you can have in this game. So, once again, solo laner, they're over here. They're trying to clear the waves, stay in wave as long as possible while trying to poke out the opposite god. That's why Chalk gets picked a lot in the lower tier games, because he has an ability that he can throw that does a lot of damage. He has a slow and a heal and an ult that gets him out of bad situations. Chalk gets played a lot in the solo lane because he's just a farming machine that can stay in lane as long as he fucking wants. A lot of times you're going to need a jungler to come over, or he's got to be a potato in order for you to be able to get a kill and push on him. So you're looking to clear a wave, try to get him to go away. It's tough to do, but also not get poked out yourself. Mid laner, you're staying in lane, you're looking for where your team needs you in the mid to late game, and you're looking to help your jungler clear some of these mid camps to help secure them. Because these two middle experience camps, here and here, the other team wants them just as bad as you do. So if I'm here and I'm clearing this, and I'm taking damage early game from these things, if a jungler comes over here on to my left, he can easily get a kill before I'm able to run away, depending on where the game is at. So having a mid laner here to help secure these mid harpies, to help secure this red, to help push the opposing team's red buff is extremely important. Now, when I was first starting out, a lot of times I was like, okay, I'm a mid laner. I want to play defensive, right? I don't like this jungler coming in getting me. So I'm going to ward here and here. I'm going to look and I'll be able to see a jungler coming from there or from there. Good, perfect. The problem is, if I'm right here and he pops up on a ward right there, who's going to get to the tower line first? He is. So a lot of times it'd be better to put the ward here, to put the ward up here by red buff, to put it over here at his experience camp, so you can see their rotation before they make it. It's good to know where they're going to be before they make the rotation. It's the same thing with dual lane. I've had it a lot of times where I'll place a ward right here in the dual lane. Right here where I'm standing, where this plushy jump mark is. Because you ward here, it lets you know if somebody's coming through here. It lets you know if somebody's coming through here. So if you ward right here, and you ward right here, you can literally see the jungle's rotation no matter what. One of the other things you could do is to actually place the ward here. Place the ward here. So you can see them as they are coming from the red buff. because if the jungler is going to get this red buff, or the mid laner is going to get this red buff, and then they're going to decide whether they're going to go there or back to mid lane. So if you ward right here, when they make the decision to come this way, you already know. So if you're at the tower line right here and you're pushing the other team very hard, if you place a ward here, it helps you know you have enough time to get back. If you place the ward here and you're right here, who's going to get to the tower first? Once again, the jungler. If they got speed buff, they got mobility, they're going to be able to get over here and get you. So, those are things you got to know as while you're in lane. Try to figure out where the jungler's rotation is. Keep an eye out for him on the map. Map awareness is key, especially when you're jungling or when you're looking for the other jungler. So if I'm jungling, right now, obviously, all of these camps are up. In this whole entire area, all of our camps on this side of the map are up. If I was actually jungling, if my team was also taking some camps, it'd be a different story. You could see, you know, that some of them would be down or most of them would be down. So if most camps are down, you're looking to go into a wave, maybe leech a little experience from your mid laner, even though they don't like it and they'll tell you I'm building stacks, you can still leech a little bit of experience from them. Make a move to maybe one of the other junglers' camps here, while your mid laner's close by. Maybe even invade their speed if you know it's up. Very risky, very worthwhile if you're able to steal it and get away. So, as a jungler, you have to constantly be aware of the map. If Bakasura is over here at level 3 ganking duo lane, hey, that Baka's over there. My speed's up, that means his speed's up. I'm coming right over here. I'm going to take his speed. He just got to kill on my duo lane, but I don't care because I'm going to take this. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to take this. And I'm going to come over here, and if this is up, I'm going to take this. Now, when that Baka backs and he comes out of the jungle, he's got 3 buffs that he's going to look at that are completely down. While he's doing that, he got the kill in duo lane, but at the same time, now I got double the camps, and he got none. None. 0. Zilch. So, farming, a lot of times, you'll see, is actually more important than getting into lane and trying to gank as many times to get as many kills, to be 20-1 or whatever the fuck you're trying to do. Sometimes it's better just to try to farm your brains out, to help when you can, but just try to get as much stuff as you can. Get as many camps as you can, do as much as you can. So, I think that's about it. Know the map, know what the buffs are for. Red is damage, purple, protection shred. That's why it's got a shield with a crack in it. This is a red sword, and the blue is like a mana pot. So, protection shred. I can tell you exactly what it does. So, protection shred, extra damage, more mana, more ability usage. In Joust, obviously, this one goes to the whoever's the magical person because they'll run out of abilities very fast to use. But in this game mode, it's for the solo laner to be able to keep using their abilities over and over again to clear wave, to poke out the opposite solo laner, and to do as much as they can in the way of staying and farming as much as possible. Reduces enemy gods' protections by 10 and an additional 5%, reducing an extra 2 for each enemy god, nearby enemy god. So, if you're a support, you're in the face of 2 other players, obviously the duo lane, the support, and the hunter. When you're near them, it does 12 plus an additional 5% of their protections to both gods. So it can make it so your hunter can do more damage. Sometimes if you're pressuring the lane early and you poke them out, you get a kill or you're forcing one of them to back, go take their purple buff. Because if you have 2 purple buffs, It's just like having 2 blues, like having 2 experience camps, like having 2 speeds. It's very important to do that. But you gotta do it safe because, like I said, the further you are from your tower, the more susceptible you are to getting killed. Because towers, safe zones. Not by towers, not safe. Gotta keep that in mind. Can you escape? Where is the other jungler at? These are all things that you have to keep in your mind. So, that's my explanation of jungle camps, what you want to do when, what you're looking to do, where you stand, what you're doing in the early game, what you're doing in the mid game, what you're doing in late game. Definitely one of my main problems that I have in a lot of my conquest games is that people do not group up in the late game. They're still pushing lanes because they're a couple levels behind. They're still pushing lanes by themselves while there's 5v3 right here at this red buff. There's a 5v3 right here at the Gold Fury. Or there's a 5v3 at the fucking Fire Giant and you got 2 guys standing in duo lane. You're going to lose that Fire Giant 9 times out of 10. Yes, obviously, better play beats out a lot of that stuff, but in the end, you gotta have teammates. 20 MP5 and 10% cooldown reduction. There you go. Each time you hit an enemy god with an ability, you gain 2% of your missing mana. So, if you're out there and you're hitting gods, and you're able to do it more often with the cooldown reduction, you have more mana refill, and it helps to refill 2% of your mana as well every time you hit a god. They're also adding another objective here in the solo lane in the next season. It doesn't seem like it's that crazy. You just gotta deal a little bit of damage to it, and it gives your whole entire team very minimal buffs and stuff, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be that big of a deal. The main thing is the Gold Fury changes. So that's something to be aware of. Other than that, it's probably going to look like the same map, same stuff, same buffs. So know your buffs, know where you need to go. Mages in mid lane, warriors in solo lane, guardians and hunters in duo, junglers everywhere. Everywhere at once. So obviously there's variations to that. Obviously mages can jungle. Obviously mages can solo lane. Obviously mages can literally play any fucking position in the game. But also other gods can do the same. I wouldn't suggest a hollow support, but I've lost to a team that had 5 hunters on their team. My team had no idea. They had no idea what was going on. There was an Uller jungle. There was 2 hunters in duo lane. I was the support. I was just trying to keep my team alive. But all 5 hunters got up early. All 5 of them were winning lane and winning jungle. And we got freaking smacked. What's up, Brian? Alright, I'll get into a conquest game. There's no guarantee on me being able to play any role. I'm not one of those sweaty guys that calls a role the second you get into a lobby because I want to play a certain god. All roles are equally important. It's just that everyone thinks that jungle is the most important thing in the game to play, so everybody wants to play jungle, whether they're good or not. Jungle can sway a lot of games, it's true, but a good support can also win you a lot of games too, if all things are equal. So mages can win games, solo laners can win games. So it's just a matter of knowing your role and playing it well, and the rest kind of falls upon your team. So I can jungle well, I can solo well, I can mid well, I can hunter, I can support well, just because I'm willing to play any of the roles. But there are some people that literally refuse to play anything else, and that's how you end up in games with a Hebo support, because they want to play Hebo. They want to be an assassin or a mid. Both of those get called, so they end up playing Hebo support, which loses your team the game practically. I mean, so at the end of the day, you got to be willing to play any role at any time. you gotta learn all the roles, because the better you know the other roles in the game, the better you can play. The better you know the god that's playing against you on the other side, the better you can counter what they're doing. So we'll see what role I get. I'll kind of be talking throughout the entire game on what I'm doing and why. I'll also try to do shot calling for my team. It's not something I like to do because a lot of people don't like being told what they want to do in lower rank conquest. As you can see, I'm only level 88. I played a little bit on Xbox back in like season 1 or 2. Stopped playing for a while. I came back at the beginning of season 5, and this account is like all season 5. So I haven't even really gotten into ranked at all. I did my qualifiers and that was about it. It qualified me in bronze, and I played like 1 or 2 games and that was it. This next season, season 6, I can see myself playing more ranked. I feel like I have a pretty good grasp on all the gods. I'm starting to understand more of the complex parts of the game, positioning, what to do when, grouping, warding my brains out. So let's see, we got a mid, we got an 80 carry. Oh, somebody just called jungle. Alright, I'll play some solo. Yeah. Way to go, bud. I'm proud of you. You got it. So as solo, a lot of times you would want to play as a warrior. Warriors are built for the solo lane. That doesn't mean you have to use a warrior. One of my favorite gods to actually play in the solo lane is actually an assassin. Oh, maybe I won't do shot calling. Yeah, my Camazotz actually has kind of a troll voice pack. He doesn't actually say words, so anytime I do anything, they're gonna have to read it. But I'll play him anyways, because oh, look at the Hu Yi standing up for me. What a nice guy. Like I said, don't have to play any role. Fine. He can Mercury jungle all he wants. Just as long as he comes to my lane and helps me out, that's all I care about. So, as jungle, you're looking to help out your team as well. A lot of times, junglers are looking to get the kills themselves. Am I going against? I'm going to probably against Erlang or Naja. So you can see the other team is probably going to be on her. Janice jungle? Naja support? So they have 2 mages, a warrior, a hunter, and a jungler, an assassin. So they could be playing their roles out and it's just Anubis support or Yanu support, but I doubt it. I would think maybe one of them would be going to solo lane. But we'll see. Alright, so all of this stuff here, all of the items that you see, these are usually for an assassin build. So I'm not going to play as an assassin. I'm a solo laner. So my items are a little bit different. One of the problems here is I don't know who I'm playing against in solo lane, but and I have some natural healing in my kit. I'm probably just gonna go, yeah. So I'm gonna go boost just because it's a very open item. I'm gonna get teleport lift. So this allows me to teleport back to tower once I back. Support beads. Yeah, that's true. Kumbhakarna support, and he's got beads. That's a yikers. They have early. Okay. Doesn't help Hu Yi. Just yourself. and it's not typing. It's not sending.
Yes. Awesome, 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 awesome.
So it's Naja support, like I was thinking, which probably means I'm going against a Noobs solo, if I had to guess. Janus mid, Erlang jungle. It's probably, oh no, there's Erlang. So it's Janus jungle, a Noobs mid. Alright, fun. Erlang Shen is arguably one of the best warriors in the game right now. His kit is kind of crazy, and he deals out enough damage that he could just as easily be a jungler. He's out clearing me like a motherfucker right now. This is not good. Yep. Fucking A, dude. He out cleared me. He hurt me.
You owe me strength. Retreat. Thanks.
So I'm gonna get my blue buff that Mercury came over and dropped, and now Mercury's rotating to mid. So I'm by myself. Erlang went to get his blue buff. He's missing. There he is. Oh, his jungler waited for him. Weird. So my 2 slows him, and it also heals me. Oh, I missed that. That was not good. Alright. Well, that was very strange. I don't know what the fuck just happened. I think he just stayed there attacking my minions and got hurt by them so much that he died. So my 3 also heals. Oh my god. I'm freaking shredding him, dude. Shredding him.
Completed. Enemy missing middle.
Fuck, I missed.
Enemy mission left.
That's not good. I missed him again. He's dead. He's a fucking potato. He doesn't know what he's doing.
You can't.
I would like to take this, if I can. Don't know if I'll be able to. Oh, it's gone. Damn it. Alright, I'm gonna go get my blue. I don't know if Mercury's gonna rotate over.
Enemy missing middle.
Yep, that's me saying enemy missing right. Told you this voice pack's kind of a troll.
You owe me. You got him right where you want. Right back.
Alright. So now I am 2 levels up on this Erlang Shen, which means I do a lot of damage to him, and he thinks he does a lot of damage to me. In reality, Oh, that's unfortunate. Oof. Boy. These minions hurt, man. Let me tell you.
Completed. Okay. You rock. Enemy mission left.
That's me calling enemy missing right. Erlang literally might be trying to clear his blue buff this entire time. I'm not even joking. He might be trying to clear this blue buff still.
You rock.
Oh,
You rock.
there he is. I see him.
You rock. Your middle tower is under attack. Good game. Shut it.
So, my 4 does damage. It also makes me immune to damage and helps me get away.
Enemies have returned
So,
to base.
that's something I like to do
Falling back.
in order to get away from fights. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Well, I'm gonna back as soon as I clear this wave. As soon as this wave gets cleared, I should say.
Your right tower is under attack.
A little bit of a lag spike. Well, there's his ranged. So I'll go ahead and back right now. I'll get boots. I'll get some physical protection. Yeah, void shield. I'll do shifters. Why not? Get me one of each. And then I'm teleporting back to tower. Probably should have gotten at least one ward. Okay, at least I got that experience in gold. Enemy missing right. VF3. Once again, it doesn't actually help you to know what's going on.
There was nothing you could have done there. An ally has been slain. There was nothing you could have done there.
Damn it, I missed that. If I had hit that, he would have been dead. Oh, where the fuck did all this health come from? He just got so much health. Where the fuck did it come from? Fuck me.
Shut it. That'll be the day.
I'm gonna let him out clear me a little bit.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your left tower is under attack.
My blue buff get taken? I feel like it did.
You owe me, stranger.
So I haven't even seen the fucking Mercury at all, which is too bad.
Stay down. Be careful, enemy mission left. No.
Oh, I'm out of mana. That's alright. Got it. Man, I'm the only fucking one doing anything on my fucking team. Let's go, rest of the team. What the fuck are you guys doing? Let me try to take his blue. I don't think mine's down. His is down too. Let me see if I can take this experience camp. Yeah. Okay. See if I can. Ooh, I'll take this. If I can.
Enemy mission left. Building stack. Building stack. Shut it.
Fuck, I'll take it. Woo! Look at that. I got his experience camp and his speed buff. Oh, he's getting fucked. That guy just got fucked up. Alright, let me get this real quick and then I'll go back to my lane. Oh no. Oh, my shit's down. Fuck.
Awesome.
So now I am 2 levels up on the Erlang Shen because I'm 3-0. He's 0-3. Also because I've invaded their speed, which is helping my jungler and my team out.
I've defeated you owe me.
Okay.
Be careful,
I'm gonna try to hit him and my guys. Oh my god, he is so dead. I do so much fucking damage to him. You are so dead, bud. Oh, he just used something to heal himself. Yep, you're dead. Later. Hit him. Oh my god. Fuck. He's a squirrely one. Now, my passive helps me to eat these things on the ground to heal up. Man, I haven't seen my jungler at all. I haven't seen their jungler at all. If their jungler was smart, he would come and help this Erlang Shen. So, now that I'm winning my solo lane, and I'm about to get this tower, it opens me up to go and help out mid lane. It allows me to go and do different things. Hello. So that slows him and does good damage to him. It also heals me, so I'm able to get away. Careful, bud. Don't die to this Erling. I've done a lot of work on him. Don't fucking die to him.
Retreat.
Enemy ultimate down, baby. Be careful, bud. You're there by yourself. I had a bat.
An ally has been slain.
You fucking idiot.
Killing spree.
I was out of mana. Oh, what are we? Why are we surrendering? Are you kidding me right now? Why? Why? 929. Why? This is the problem with playing a team game. We're doing fine. This guy calls jungle, doesn't know what he's doing. Oh, he was 5 and 2. Okay, so he was actually doing okay. Don't know what anyone else was doing. Let's look at damage numbers. So I had 5,000. I outdamaged everyone other than the Anubis and him. So somehow he was damaging me a lot, but I was just killing him because I was able to heal myself. I don't understand. Apparently somebody's keyboard was broken. That's why we had to surrender. Oh well. Felt like I was popping off, but don't matter. The rest of the team ain't up to the task. So, with that, I might just play one game of Joust, but I am going to end the stream. So, thank you guys for stopping by. I hope that it was somewhat informative. You got to see a little bit of a solo lane play, and you got to see the different gods, what you have to know about them. If they have mobility, low mobility gods usually tend to have higher damage. Just know that your damage is your escape, because you don't have an escape. Also help that I let you understand where you're supposed to be on the map, where to go, what to do, what buffs you should get, and how you should play a little bit. Definitely stream again soon in different positions other than solo lane and show you how to just completely dominate them. Now that Erling Shen, real quick, let's see what his build was, because I feel like he went damage for some reason. He seemed like he was attacking faster. That just might be him being, his broken self. I also feel like he got... Yeah, we lost that game. 4-0, 5-2. We lost that game because they just surrendered. So he went Hunter's Blessing. Don't know why he did that. Attack speed and... I guess that's why. Attack speed and damage. And then he did have a Berserker's Shield. So he was... That was actually healing him. Yes. I don't know what else would have been healing him that much. He just seemed to heal strangely at some times. Hunter's Blessing, that's interesting. That's why he had more attack speed, but it didn't do him any good. Because I had 75 health, 3 reduction of all damage taken, 30 health and mana restored upon damaging the enemy, plus protections. Then I had just power that was helping me to kill him. I have one that gives me power and protections. While over 50% health, more physical power. While under 50% health, more protections. So it helps you do more power before, helps you to take less damage after. And then I was working on just an item that would help me do more damage because I was up. But, no. Weird. He built Golden Blade on Merc. That's not a good thing to do, but anymore, but it's fine. You can do whatever. But, yeah, so my healing just tended to be better than his because I have two abilities plus my passive that help me to heal. So with that in mind, I was doing damage while healing myself a good portion of the time. So, yeah, lots of losses right there. Lots of bad stuff. 12-5 Uller game, tough loss. That one, DC, what, 15 minutes, just could not freaking do anything. Horrible games. Bad, bad, bad. This one I actually had a quadra kill in it, but at the beginning of the game, a level 1 quadra kill. Alrighty, that is it for me. Thank you guys for stopping by. I appreciate it. Have a good night.